Fueled up, music on. The wind's blowing pretty good today. It's been blowing me all over the road already. Traffic is pretty bad as well, so we'll just take our time and cruise up to Burnt Mountain. Surprised, just me and the one guy in front of me here at the overlook. That last clip, you seen me pull into the main and most popular overlook here on Burnt Mountain, but there's hardly anybody there when I got there, and then after I was there for a minute, a bunch of people started coming in, so I decided to go a couple more miles down to another pull-off that you just seen me pull out of. I'll cruise into Dahlonega here and grab myself some lunch somewhere and figure out what I'm gonna do or where I'm gonna go from there. It may just be a ride back to the house if some people are able to meet up by then. I'll meet up. So we met up with the boys. Got Connor with me, brother Zach. Zach's got a leak in his tire, so we're gonna cruise down here to the gas station and fill his tire up and then top off on fuel. I think the plan right now is we're gonna head over to maybe Lake Burton and do a loop around Burton, and then who knows where we'll end up, honestly. We made the trip out of Dahlonega after getting Aaron and Zach's bike. Took some roads that we'd never ridden before, actually. Now we're over slightly northwest of Helen, over by Lake Rabun. That's actually what we're headed, down into the Lake Rabun area now. We were headed into Lake Burton, but I forgot that Lake Rabun was right here, so we're gonna cruise down here and see what's up.
Every tractor in the county.
Yeah, I know.
Jesus Christ. Roadways, but they don't even know what they're doing.
All right, so we are We got lost for a little bit. I thought I knew where a road was, and turns out the road's there, but I didn't know where it was, so we didn't turn on it after we left Seed Lake. So we ended up having to do a big loop, and now we're almost back around to Lake Burton. Next day, obviously, as you can see, I'm back in the garage. After we dropped back down in the Lake Burton area, Zach and I both needed gas. We both have relatively small tanks, get on average 110 to 120 miles per tank, and we were rolling on about 90 miles coming back around Lake Burton. One of the things about Southern Appalachia, if you're not from here and you don't know, they call it the Bible Belt, and you know, if you're heavy into religion and you're a Christian and stuff, then you don't work on Sundays, and a lot of the mom and pop family owned stores or gas stations or any of that are usually closed altogether on Sunday. If they're open, they usually close early, and same goes for through the week. They'll usually close up shop at 6 or 7. There was essentially one gas station that's there on 197 near Moccasin Creek State Park. When we make it back around to the gas station at the Fork, it was closed, and I didn't realize it, but Connor told me that the lady who was working the gas station had actually told him that he was her last customer probably 2 hours before that when we stopped to get a water. It wasn't a huge deal, but it did kind of get like, oh boy, what are we going to do? It's hard to fathom the idea that you could drive around a state like Georgia in the mountains and potentially have an issue of not being able to get gas. Anyways, before we took off out of the gas station that was closed, Connor was like, hey man, I noticed when we were at a stop sign earlier making a left-hand turn, when you took off to go, your back tire is showing some cords. I did this little number where I rolled the bike forward and back to trying to find the spot on the tire, and sure enough, as you can see right there, started showing cords. Not showing wires yet, but the outer cords of the tire for sure. And as you've seen at the beginning of the video, I actually did my pre-ride inspection. You know, I cleaned the bike up, I checked to make sure my lights were working, cleaned and oiled my chain, checked the adjustment, I dressed the sides of the tires, and usually when I do that, I check the tire for any wear spots or bubbles or any abnormalities. And when I checked it yesterday morning, the tire seemed to be in good condition, well, fair condition. Connor and I rode together like 2 weeks ago, and on that ride he made a comment like, it's about time for you to get some tires. And I'm like, it'll be like another 1,000 or 2,000 miles. I think I specifically said 2,000 miles to him, but you know, I've got over 100,000 miles consecutively on a couple different motorcycles since I've been riding in 2012. So I've gone through many sets of tires, and although they all do wear differently and at different rates of speeds, I looked at the tire and thought that I could get another 2,000 miles, and I did get another 1,000 out of it before it started showing cords. As far as yesterday specifically goes, when I did my pre-ride inspection, both front and rear tires were in what I was thinking was fair enough condition to get me through the day and maybe even a few more rides. But I guess for whatever reason, they were already at a point of wearing, and yesterday just wore them super quickly. Because I started noticing on the way home last night that I was getting a real bad shake in the front, especially in cornering. So that's indication of cup tires. So the front tire still looks to be in fairly decent condition when you just look at it, but you can see right in here that the center ring groove is starting to wear, and this is actually cupped. It's hard to get perception in the camera, but It is cupped. So basically when I was going down the road and going into a corner, it was getting to that point of that cup and then dropping. So it was making me feel like the bike was wanting to wash. I rode it another, let's see, it's got 82 miles on the clock, and that was from the time that I was able to find gas in Helen. I rode probably 8 miles from up around Seed Lake down into Helen. So just say 95-ish miles I rode with that back tire like that. Just so everybody's aware, I do not condone that. I would recommend that if you find a tire showing cords or wires while you're out on a ride and you have the ability to call a truck or trailer to get you home, that is the smartest option. And I do have a truck and I do have a trailer, but I made the decision to just go ahead and ride it home and not bother my wife with dragging the truck and trailer out if it was not necessary. It's a gamble. It could have ended a lot worse. Tire could have blown out at speed or in a corner and ultimately caused, you know, a potentially bad wreck or even fatal wreck. The GoPro died, and between trying to figure out what we're gonna do for gas and if I was gonna call my wife or just ride the bike home, I didn't really, it would never even cross my mind to pull the batteries out and hook the GoPro on charge, just because I was more focused on getting gas and getting home with a bad tire at that point. So that was the last little bit of footage I got of the vlog style in the GoPro on the ride back. Every time you go on a ride, you know, something happens, it turns it into an adventure, and that's the fun of riding. You know, I was telling Connor and Zach yesterday, that's, for me, it's being able to go out with a bunch of friends and create memories and stories that you will always be able to tell or always be able to look back on, you know, years from now. And I have a lot of those memories, and I hope to continue making more. So now it's on to finding some tires for this guy, getting a table to change them, because I'm going to do it myself. And hopefully within another month or so, I'll be back out riding. It's going to take me a little bit. I'm in the process of starting my own business, so all of my extra funds are going into my business currently. But I may pull some overtime or some side work and go ahead and order the tires I want. I'm going to put some white walls on it. And I'm not really sure what brand or anything yet. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will catch you on the next one.